Hey guys, what's going on? We're getting ready to go camping tomorrow. The high is going to be 24 degrees, the low's 8 degrees. Right now, it's like a sleet slash snowstorm outside, so it's pretty chilly. We're going to go over some of the things that we're going to be taking to camp with us tomorrow. Everything's here other than the food that we're taking. For lunch, we're going to have hot dogs and probably pretzels, something like that. We're gonna have some snacks like deer pepperonis and stuff. And then for dinner, we're gonna do steak and rice. For breakfast, we're gonna do scrambled eggs and bacon, and then probably some toast with it. But everything's here other than our food, so I'm gonna kind of go over what we got going on right now. All right, so this is gonna be our food stack, and as you can see, it's pretty empty right now, but I do have a couple things in here. I went ahead and I've got our eggs scrambled up with some butter and milk in there. I've got some deer salami for a snack. Got some butter for our steaks and scrambled eggs in the morning. And then I'm going to start with Marley's stuff. We're going to be having our dog with us, which he's passed out right now, sleeping. I guess he knows we're having a big trip tomorrow and he's getting rested up for it. But taking some chicken. I'm not worried about the chicken spoiling or anything like that because, again, the high is only going to be 24, so it's going to be fine. But taking the chicken mainly to use as treats. We're working on training the dog, so I do want to be able to kind of say, hey, come away from the stick, come over here and be able to lure him with some chicken. So got some chicken for him, and then I've got roughly 2 days worth of dog food right here that I'm going to take also. And then I've got these little pouches, and these are pretty cool. One can be a food bowl and one can be a water bowl. And it looks like a little taco, and you just unzip it, and it pops up into a bowl. You can put all the food and stuff in, so that's what he's going to be eating and drinking out of. So we'll start going over my pack now. I've got, I'm still going to take my axe down. It's a 23.5-inch Fisker. I'm going to take my hatchet down because we are going to be working on the shelter tomorrow, so I want to take all these with me. And then I've got a Silky Gomboy 240 large tooth saw. I'm going to take that with me. On my side, I'll be packing, just this knife right here, just to do, whatever with. So I'm going to take 2 knives with me. I'm going to take one for my side and one for my pocket. I'm going to take a bigger knife. That way I can do some batoning with wood or whatever I need to do with a larger knife. But I'm also going to take a smaller knife, something easy to get out, something good for carving and stuff like that. So taking 2 knives along with me. Right here I've got my sleeping bag. It's rated to 30 degrees. We'll see how it does tomorrow. More than likely I'll probably have to have, my long johns, and then I've got 2 pair of long johns I'm going to wear, as well as I'll probably take some flannel sleeping pants to sleep in also, but I want to make sure I'm plenty warm. So I'm going to take my sleeping bag. Right here I've got a Chill Gorilla 10x10 tarp. My son has the same one, and we're going to set up, I still haven't decided yet what I want to do, if I want to marry the 2 tarps together and build a great big tarp, or if I want to keep something that's low and sleek to the ground. That way not a lot of wind gets to us, but then also we still getting some heat from the fire. So we're going to kind of play that by ear tomorrow. Got these 2 tennis balls. Well, I've got 1 tennis ball cut in half, and the reason I did that is for when I take my stake tomorrow and hold up my tarp to make my tent, I'm going to put this on top of the wood so it doesn't puncture my tarp. So I've got 1 for me and 1 for Gavin here. I've got a deck of playing cards just for if we get bored at night and we want to play some cards. Right here I've got a Thermarest Trail Scout, I believe it is, sleeping pad that I'm going to be sleeping on. I'm going to put a tarp underneath that also so I get up off the ground, because right now we do have snow and ice out there, so I'm going to put a tarp, a sleeping pad, and then the sleeping bag. In here, if you want to zoom in. This is kind of like my hygiene kit as well as first aid. So I've got something to wash our pots and pans out, wet wipes, and then in here I've got all the basic first aid stuff, band-aids, just all kinds, ibuprofen, Tylenol, stuff like that. Got another Scotch-Brite pad, and then I've got just a little bottle of soap in here that I keep. So I haven't found a container for this, but this is just the grill like we used in the last video. We're going to be doing all the cooking on that by the fireplace, as far as for the steaks and hot dogs and stuff. So I keep that in this Scotch bubble maker pack. That way it doesn't tear anything inside my pack or tear up my pack while we're hiking to wherever we're going to. I've got some 550 paracord here. Inside of here, I've got just some hot chocolate, salt, pepper, steak seasoning, mayonnaise, chicken bouillon cubes. I like to drink those, mix it with a little bit of water. I've got my canteen here. I've got 2 pouches on the side. One pouch, I've got 2 honing stones in. One honing stone's pretty coarse, and then the other honing stone's pretty fine. That way, if I get a ding in my axe or knife or whatever, I can hone it and get that ding out of it and get the sharpness right back to it. So I keep that with me at all times. And then in this side, I've got a magnesium fire starter. And then of course, my canteen. I've got my lid, and then I've got a spork and a fork and a spoon on that. So all that goes in there. This is going to be Marley's blanket that he's going to sleep on. Hopefully he doesn't get too cold with it. This is the sleeping bags that we have. I've got a blue one, Gavin's got an orange one. This is my pack I'll be using. It's an old pack, I'd like a new one. It's a North Face Fulcrum 35-liter pack. Definitely need a little bit bigger one, and not only bigger, just something that I can tie more stuff on the outside. You see I've got these clips in here. That's what I'm going to be using to hold my sleeping bag on the outside. But it's a good pack. It's probably 6 or 7 years old. It's got a nice backing to it, but I would like a different one here soon. My son Gavin, he's pretty much got the same stuff. He's got his tarp, his canteen. He's got a redhead saw that he can use to go out and cut some firewood, or we're going to start working on the shelter tomorrow. He's got a hatchet. He's got a redhead, just standard side knife. Pretty cool. It's got paracord as a handle. And then that's really about it. Oh, we've got our headsets here. These are rechargeable headsets, so they are a little bit heavier than your standard AAA battery one, but they're super bright. They've got a high beam, a low beam, and then an SOS on each of them. This one's mine, that one's Gavin's. In here, just like in our last video, we're going to take this again. Now, it came with a rubber lid on the pot, so I made an aluminum lid at work, but it's got our bowls and stuff in it, so we can eat out of that. I'm going to take a skillet and stuff to do eggs in, and that's really about it. So hopefully you watch our video that we're going to post probably Sunday, because tomorrow morning we're going camping. We're going to stay out there until Sunday morning, a little bit before lunch, come back into town. So please like, subscribe, follow us, and watch the videos. Thank you.